Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So we're going to go in further on La ilaha illallah and the points of the body which is associated with it. First, it's something that the Salafists and the Wahhabis and the so-called traditional Sunnis, they know nothing of this stuff, and if you talk to them about this, they'll reject it. Firstly, I want to say that even in their own hadith, I believe there's a narration from Abu Huraira. And look, I follow Shia hadith primarily. But I'll take some knowledge from Bukhari. I'm not a sectarian like this. I believe in 12 Imams, so on and so forth. Abu Huraira says that there's Prophet Muhammad told him that there's two kinds of knowledge. There is the knowledge that's the outer knowledge, which is taught to the people, and then there's the hidden knowledge, where if the people knew, they would slit his throat. So I just want to make that known now. The Wahhabis have an incredibly blasphemous understanding, and the Salafis, they understand everything in the outer teaching, which is the inferior grade primary level teaching. The Prophet's Sunnah is based on esotericism and hidden batini mysteries. So with that being said, La illaha illAllah. So each sound corresponds to a different point center in the body. This is similar to what the tantrics have in the tantric system. So we have the La illaha illAllah. So we have akhfa, khafi, sir, qalb, ruh, nafs, and qalb, jasad. So basically it's crown, which is associated with Zuhal or Saturn. Then we have the third eye, Khafi, and this is associated with Jupiter. And then we have here Al-Marikh, and this is associated with Mars. And then we have here the Qalb, which is associated with Al-Shams. And then we have the solar plexus, right, which is the Ruh, or the spirit. And this would be associated with Zohra, which is Venus. And then we have the sacral area, so genital area, and this is associated with Mercury, and its Arabic name would correspond to the nafs, the self, essentially the ego. And then the root, which is beneath the sacral, can be understood as the entire outer shell of the body, the jasad or the kalab, which is what grounds us to the dunya, the earth. So similar to the Hindus and their chakra system, where the Hindus have 7 chakras, we have the same thing in the Islamic mysticism. And each one is also associated with a different angel and jinn, and various other associations with it, which we can get into in later videos. I also want to say that, so in Quran, Surah Al-Mulk, He created the 7 heavens in layers. You do not see any inconsistency in the creation of the Most Merciful. So return your vision to the sky. Do you see any bricks? This is a verse in the Quran acknowledging these 7 layers of heaven, 7 heavens, and then above which is the throne and the ineffable. So this would be like the 7th would be the crown. I also believe this is associated with Masjid al-Aqsa, or the furthest place of submission, essentially, from the dunya. And then we also have a verse in Surah Al-Hijr, verse 44, so 1544. It has 7 gates, and for every gate is a portion of them to be divided. So you see, the great Sheikh Ibn Arabi, in the Sufi/Urfani mystical understanding, these 7 points can either be 7 gates of Jahannam, of hell, if they are not controlled and if they're not utilized properly for developing knowledge of the Tawheed, of experiential knowledge of the Ahad, or they can become 7 gateways of Jannah, of heaven. And each one also corresponds to a more outer part of the body. For example, the third eye, this would correspond with the right palm. So that's just one example. So yeah, again, La illaha illAllah. And this is something you can literally do. You can literally touch each part while doing the dhikr, to kind of activate each part until it becomes an influx and fluctuation of nur, of light, pulsating throughout the 7 heavens or 7 jahannam. Al-Haq wa al-Nur.